Welcome to my humble little office. My name is R. Keith Andrews. I am a spiritual guide and paranormal adept. This is the astrological forecast for May 3rd through May 9th of 2020. Now, this is a general forecast, meaning it is aiming at applying to as many people, as many of the 8 billion inhabitants of this planet as we can arrange. Now, if this forecast does not seem to fit your sign, not to worry about it. This is called general for a reason. Other planetary positions that may be of import to you are your Mars, your Moon, your Ascendant, and possibly your Neptune. Now, all of these play a very important role. To find out where they are in your sign, either check your natal chart, or you can contact me at any one of the contact numbers below this video at the contact points, and I'll be happy to look it up for you and send it to you. That way you can get the most out of the reading as well. Now, again, this is general. So the first card that we look at is a general view, applying to everybody. Now we have the Six of Wands inverted. And what that tells us is it does indicate loss. Now, loss is not always a bad thing. In this case, we are looking at the loss of negative habits or counterproductive habits. Apparently, I'm not speaking well today. By eliminating the negative things in your life, what you end up finding is all that you're left with is the positive ones. Now, I'm told all the time you have to have a plan to get where you're going. You got to know what you're aiming for. Honestly, you really don't. All you actually have to know is where you're standing. You don't even need to know how you got where you are. All you have to know is where you're standing and what you're not content with in your life. That's the first thing you have to know, and in all fairness, it's the only thing. Well, that's not true. That's where you need to start. Absolutely imperative, that's where you start, that's where you are. Where better to start? So, Aries, we'll start with you. We have the Five of Cups inverted. Now, the nice part about that is it indicates happiness. It indicates incoming joy. It indicates success if you follow karmic law. And that simply means energy out, energy in. What you put the effort into, that's what you're going to stack the deck in favor of. It does not indicate that you're definitely going to get it. There are no definites on this world. Although there's a pretty close one. The one that is pretty accurate is you don't get out of this world alive, at least not permanently. Okay, so with Aries, this is your time to take your entire negative past and go, I'm not interested in it anymore. And I don't mean I'm not interested in your past. I mean, you need to look at your past. Doesn't matter what you're going through. Doesn't matter what you've been through. Look at where you are and go, what am I personally not content with? Okay, and then start making changes. And we'll get to those in another video. Okay, now Taurus. Taurus, we have the Nine of Pentacles. This indicates prosperity. It indicates that the projects you've been working on, the goals that you've got laid out for yourself already, are coming to fruition. Now, hopefully this means that you've been setting positive goals that are affecting you as well as other people in a beneficial fashion. Karmic law is pretty cut and dry. Do unto others as you desire them to do unto you. So, when we start looking at the projects that you've got on the go, are these ones that are going to either help you or help others in a way that is beneficial? Okay, that would be first and foremost. Now, we have Gemini. Gemini shows the five, just looking at it here, the Five of Swords. Okay, should really take a look at these cards before I turn them around so I can't see them, or lean closer to the video so I can see them easier in reflection, as it were. Now, with the Five of Swords, it indicates success. it does indicate some secrecy involved. Meaning, you don't have to tell. Now, I'm going to say something here and pay close attention to the way I'm saying it, really. When we talk about secrets, there are certain secrets that you want to keep. Certain secrets that are beneficial. Like if you're planning a surprise party, not a practical joke, but a genuine surprise party, or if you're buying Christmas gifts or gifts for somebody, don't go telling everybody about it. It's supposed to be a surprise for a reason. This applies to the positive things. The real key to this is any project that you're working on, anything that you're trying to do. Make sure that you can stand up and proudly announce, I did this. Okay, I was the one that did that. I'm the one. I'd like to take credit for it. Okay, now, rest assured, there's a lot of times when you do something positive for somebody that you don't desire to take credit for. Many times if you're just doing your best to be nice to somebody, sometimes it's just really nice to do it in the background and let them have a good day. Okay, now Cancer. Cancer has the Ace of Swords inverted. This means you've been doing a lot of planning, you've been going through a lot of things, but the sword is face down. Picture a sword being put into the ground at your feet. It was an old sign of saying, okay, the fight's over, we're finished. Put the sword down. Quit with the fighting. Okay, now, the thing about Cancer is, on the whole, Cancer people tend to be very hard on the outside, can be hard to get to know, but inside, really nice people. Okay, but the Ace of Swords indicates that your conflicts, the struggles you've been going through, this is the point where you can put them into them. The key is not to look at them as a struggle, to look at them as an opportunity to change your life, as a way of having identified what you're not content with. This could be in your personal life, could be in business, could be in a number of places. Okay, the point being, it's time to take a look at all the negative things that have gotten you to where you are, all the negative things that you've seen coming, and look at the here and now. Where are you right this moment? Are you content with it? It's time to put down the sword. There's an old saying here, and if I can find it, there it is. It's time to put down the sword and pick up the pen. And I'm doing another video today on listening, on how to put down the pen to make your positive goals an effective one. So when you're done this one, watch the next one as well. It'll be done right after this one. Now, let's take a look at Leo. Leo here shows the King of Wands inverted. Now, the King of Wands does show a lot of work ahead of you, but the fact it's inverted says you're not on your own. Do not be afraid to ask for assistance. If you fall short on an ability somewhere, there's nothing wrong with calling in for support, whether that's from a friend, a family member, for that matter, a stranger. Okay, prime example in my personal case is because I have traditionally had trouble with mechanics. I still call myself mechanically inclined because when I have a problem with a vehicle, whenever I'm inclined, I phone my mechanic. Okay, now, Leo, you're not on your own. You may feel like it on occasion, but the reality is, the King of Wands does show that you do have support. You just have to open your mouth and ask for it. Okay. Now, Virgo. Virgo, we have the Judgment card right side up. Again, it's showing, it does kind of look intriguing if you think about it. Look at all the people at the bottom of that card. Looks like they're standing up, getting up out of coffins or getting out of a deep sleep. Ultimately, that's what you're doing. This week is getting you to really wake up and go, okay, where do I go from here? I've been in a daze. I've been basically spinning my wheels, feeling like I'm running on the old hamster wheel. Running as fast and hard as I can and getting nowhere. The Judgment card says it's time to get up. Honestly, the hardest part of the day, getting out of bed. Okay, that is the biggest challenge anybody ever has. Now, let us take a look at Libra. I think we did that wrong. Yep, no, didn't do that wrong, just tripped over it. Libra, we have the Ace of Cups inverted. This shows that you may well have a lot of challenge this week, because the trick is to realize that you're not on your own, that you're not, regardless of what station you have in life, regardless of what kind of money you've got, what kind of position you're holding, you're really not any different than anybody else. Now, this applies to every sign out there. Every one of you has your strengths, your weaknesses. Every single one of you has goals that you'd like to meet. You all essentially desire to be appreciated, desire to be respected. And in Libra's case, where you've got to take a look, where it would be really advisable to take a look, is really look at yourself in the mirror. Take a look at where your life is. With all the things you've got around you, or the lack thereof, take a look at what you've got and really appreciate what you're sitting on. Okay? And take a look at whether it really has as much of an impact for you as you thought it did. Okay, now you're the only one that can really identify that. I am not the one to tell you this is what is important to you. That's for you to do. Now, Scorpio. Scorpio, we have the Five of Pentacles. Now, this does show a sense of loss. It looks like your head, if you look at the picture, looks like the head's down. You've got the one person that's got their head down against the wind or against the rain, one of the two, and the little cripple beside it. Okay, and what this tells you is you may be running through some obstacles, but they are things that will pass. Okay, everything in life does pass, including life, but the trick is to enjoy what you've got, to find a way, and sometimes it takes talking to somebody else. And there's a lot of opportunities out there, a lot of people putting their time on the line to say, look, have you looked at your life this way? Just to help you find that silver lining. It's almost invariably there, but the problem that you run into is sometimes it's hard to see. Okay, just making sure I've got everything in the right order here. Okay, now Sagittarius. Sagittarius, we have the Two of Swords. This indicates you've reached a fork in the road. You can either continue your life the way it's been going, or, as we were saying at the beginning, you can go, okay, how I got to here doesn't really matter, but am I content with it? And which way am I going to go with it? Okay, what am I content with? And am I going to keep doing what I'm not content with? Whether that's staying in the lifestyle you've got, staying with the habits you've got, staying with the person that you're with, or the job. Now, think things through. This does not mean walk out on your life. That's usually a bad idea. You've got to think things through and make the changes one step at a time. Okay. Now, Capricorn. We have the Lover card. Now, this indicates that what you've been focusing on, the energy that you've been focusing up here on, you're now pulling back down into the material world where you can make it manifest. Now, the neat thing with Capricorn is, more often than not, this also applies to business in general, which means if you're a business owner, let's just say you're not Capricorn, that you're just a business owner, Capricorn still rules the business world. Okay, at least traditionally speaking. Now, this said, this shows what you're putting your effort into, and again, it may require putting a list together, which I'm doing a video a little later today on. This shows you've got things setting in motion that should have been sitting in motion to make your life and the lives of those around you better. Now, you may be one of these people who doesn't feel that you really are worried about how other people feel. In a sense, that's understandable. You have to take care of you first. If you don't take care of you first, you're going to have a lot of trouble taking care of somebody else. Effectively, anyway. Now, Aquarius. We have the Ten of Pentacles. Now, the Ten of Pentacles does indicate prosperity coming in, which means whatever you've been doing, this is the time to shift it, because this is the week of letting go of things. Okay, the Ten of Pentacles does show that you've got the capacity, you've got the support around you, be that on the personal level or on the business side, doesn't matter. As long as you've got assistance, assistance working actually with you, not assistance going, you can't do that. The moment somebody tells you can't do something, then it does create some interesting side effects. And that's another one of the videos I will be dealing with in my series of language. Okay, is that specific word can't and what it actually means, or what it actually does is more to the point. The Ten of Pentacles indicates prosperity coming to you through effort. Okay, prosperity does not on the whole happen by luck of the draw, and it's certainly not something I rely on. What do we got? Now, Pisces. Pisces, we have the Seven of Cups. Now, you'll notice the guy in the middle at the top there. He's got the blanket over his head. You know that funny little idea of what I can't see can't hurt me? How many people do you know of, or have you heard of, that have ended up in an accident, for instance, a vehicular accident that they didn't see coming? They wake up in the hospital going, ow. Okay, rest assured, what you can't see can hurt. It can hurt you. A much more obvious one. Okay, if we keep it current, we're looking at COVID-19. You can't see it, but I'll tell you, it plays havoc. You look at carbon monoxide, you cannot see it. Natural gas. These are things you cannot see that can absolutely hurt you. In all fairness, they can kill you. Now, as I said at the beginning, we go back and we look at the overall. And the overall here shows the moon card. Now, intriguingly enough, this is the card, this is usually referred to as or often referred to as the card of the psychic. This is a card of change. Meaning, the time is now to really shift things around and really take advantage of what you've got available. Now, you'll notice the first card out was the Six of Wands, inverted, indicating loss. Okay, now all of the cards that I went through all show where things are shifting on a positive side. And the end side here is the moon. Okay, now the moon indicates a major change, often on an emotional and an intellectual side. But if you put the two together, we have the change happening, and your loss becomes victory. This is when you take a look at the world around you, the world that is your world. Identify what you're not content with and start changing. Okay, now as soon as I find the timestamps on this, I'll be posting it, and then I'm going to do the one on the video I was talking about on list. But for the moment, change is the one constant in the universe. It's the one constant in reality, in all fairness. So, with that in mind, I'm going to let you go for the moment. So, until we meet again, take care of yourselves and each other, and for pity's sakes, stay positive.